All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join us here tonight. I've already got my wonderful, beautiful, amazing lady live on the StreamYard here with me. Say hello, baby. Hello, hello, hello.
Well, hello, baby. Hello, hello, hello.
Geez, baby, right when I hit the start streaming button on OBS, I was going live, and as I was talking, you were like saying something, baby. You're really excited to do this show tonight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, how has your week gone so far, baby? It's been a few days since you've joined us on one of these shows here.
You know, my week's been going okay. I've had, some, excuse
What is
me.
that?
I've had some, it just was, I forgot to mute the TV. Um,
Okay.
yeah, no, I'm just dealing with some stuff here at home, dealing with my own personal stuff. So it's been kind of grueling, and I was out all day yesterday, and yeah, that was a long day. I met up with a friend. I had an appointment. Then I had like 2 hours of traffic. Then I had darts. Man, by the time I got home last night, I sounded delirious.
You certainly did, baby, but I still love you
I was
anyway.
I was so tired. It just was a long day. Just getting
Yeah.
everything done. Yeah, but no, today was a good day. I had lunch with a good friend of mine. We went out to a place that I used to work at, and yeah, not much has changed. So probably won't be going back there too soon.
Uh-huh. And I've actually been there once
Uh,
with you. We're not going to mention the place, but I've actually been there once with you, and the food wasn't too bad, but the place is a little bit tired. It needs a little restoration.
well, I will say this. They are doing some restoration on the outside. It looks like they're stripping the outside so that they can paint it.
Okay.
Um, and they did move some like key things around. Um, and yeah, I mean, and the decor inside is a little different than when we were there last time.
Okay.
And the staff is all different. I didn't know anybody there.
Yeah, this is. I won't mention the name of the place, but it's a hotel resort that used to be a top notch place to go to. Still not bad, but a little bit tired, and they're working on it. All right, let's move forward from this, baby, because we've got a lot to talk about here tonight, and we've got a couple of great topics to get to. Tam, Ms. T is back in the house. Hey guys, great to see you both again. I understand that
Welcome.
short code there. GTSY. Great to see you. My lady uses that short code also as well, Tam. I'm assuming you're a Gen Xer like my lady is, but she has a millennial daughter. And so my lady loves that short code. So I've learned how to figure it out. Hey guys, GTSY both again. That's great to see you, right, baby? I haven't
Yes.
flipped my lid, right, baby? I'm just having fun. Baby,
Mm-mm.
come on. Laugh with me, baby. Laugh with me here,
You're
baby, not at me.
absolutely right, baby. You're right.
Come on, baby, you gotta humor me sometime, baby. I humor you all the damn time to appease those emotions, and every now and then I just want one little piece of humor. But anyway, I'm having fun
All
with you,
right.
baby.
LOL. I'll give you an
LOL.
LOL.
How about an LOLZ? LOL. Z. Anyway, so tonight, baby, we have a couple of topics we're going to be discussing. First was one that we're going to be doing during the first part of the show. It was a blog you sent me, written recently from one of my favorite blog sites, Psychology Today, and it's titled 8 Elements of a Healthy Relationship. And then after the break, we're going to talk about the 4 types of attachment styles, baby. The 4 types of attachment styles. Have you heard of the attachment styles, baby, before, or will this be your first time?
Well, I've heard of attachment styles, but this is going to be my first time going in depth to really, getting the knowledge of it.
Well, here's the thing. As we get to that part, when we get to that part, I will share where I feel my attachment style is, and you can let me know where you feel mine is. And then you can share with me which attachment style you feel you have, and then I'll share what I think your attachment style is. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, sounds great, baby. Anything else you want to mention before we get to the first part of the show here? Anything else going on? We're monetized here on Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams. And I just want to thank you again, baby, for your support and dedication and consistency and just, working through the highs and the lows to get us there. Baby, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Baby, you were very instrumental.
Not necessary, but I thank you.
It absolutely is necessary because I will be man enough to admit I couldn't have done this without you. Maybe, I could have, and it would have taken me a hell of a lot longer, but I would not have had the motivation to monetize a second channel on YouTube had it not been for you. And you've been a great partner in life. You've been a great business partner. And you're my best friend and my lover, and I greatly appreciate that. And I give credit where credit is due. So thank you, baby. We're monetized. The $sign is there at the bottom of the chat, baby. Yeah.
Same. I feel the same about you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Mr. Recliner Man. Tam, is that actually your man there? Mr. Recliner Man. Hey, Coach Eli, mate, I'm here with my woman, Tam. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing? Glad you could join us here. Tam says, you guys are so cute together. That's why I come back. Well, at some point down the road, we're going to bring her on camera when we're ready to dox her. And, you'll all know her name and you'll see her face, but we're not going to do it quite yet because there are, still some people out here that would love to find out who she is and make endless amounts of content on her that is taken way out of context. So, hey, Mr. Recliner Man, thank you for coming over and checking Eli out. That is your man, Pam. Thank you so much for bringing him here. All right, baby, let's get right to it. Ready to rock it?
Let's go.
All right, let's switch on over to the browser screen. Again, this is from the website Psychology Today, one of my most favorite blog sites on the internet. And this was written by Katie Gillis, LCSWBACS. That's some fancy designation for a therapist, a psychologist, baby, which I have no clue what those designations mean. It's just all of
their licenses. It's all the different licenses she got. Yeah, and she's gotten over the years.
And she's got her own self-employed business called Invisible Bruises. Ooh, wow, baby, Invisible Bruises. That's pretty deep, especially for a woman, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right. The top, baby, I got it. The topic of today's or this blog's, topic is, there we go, 8 elements of a healthy relationship. I'm butchering things today. I'm just really happy to see that my lady's here. 8 elements of a healthy relationship. And then below it says number 3, they can sometimes feel boring. I don't know why it says number 3 there. That's kind of
I
weird.
didn't understand that either.
Yeah, that's some kind of typo or something. This was posted August 1st, 2022. So literally this came out, 2 days ago, baby?
Just, a couple days ago.
Okay. Let's get right to it. Key points. Due to their history of normalizing unhealthy behaviors, trauma survivors may struggle to identify what healthy behaviors are in relationships. Interesting. To those who grew up in families with a lot of conflict or dysfunction, a first experience in a healthy relationship can feel foreign. Because chaos feels normal, healthy relationships can feel boring to many family of origin trauma survivors. Baby, I'm going to turn this one over to you. What are your thoughts about those first three key points there?
Um, yeah, I agree. The first one, trauma survivors may struggle to identify what healthy behaviors are. And I think that's because they get triggered by the unhealthy behaviors from the trauma. They don't realize that at some points, the people that you're with, they're not doing anything in malice. This is normal behavior, but sometimes it can just literally flip a switch for you.
Absolutely. Real quick, baby. Thank you, Tam, Ms. T, for the $2 Australian super chat. See, baby, the super chat works on Coach
Oh,
Eli, too.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Tam, Ms. T, and welcome to your wonderful husband, Mr. Recliner Man. I love that name. That is a
I
great
love
name.
that name. I was
Yeah,
gonna say that I love that name.
that is great. You know what, baby? I don't have a recliner. I need to get a recliner. That's what I need.
Sweetheart,
I think there.
I have
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I guess I inherit it when you move in. All right. Hint, hint. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. She says, "Love your content, Eli and Eli's lady." Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate the
Oh,
$2
thank
Australian super
you.
chat and the one you sent the other day as well. While I believe I was on the walking stream when you did that one. So thank you very much. Tam says, "I totally agree, 100." All right, baby. So yeah. When I was reading those first three key points, I was thinking about, your story and what you've been through. And then I see our relationship, which is so good. Like, we have an amazing, amazing relationship. We are like two peas in the pod. We're not exactly alike, but we're more similar than different. We get along very well. We communicate very well. Yeah, we ever talk each other every now and then, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think tonight, during the second part of the show, it's going to make a lot more sense. And then we could talk more about it off the air too, before we go to bed. But I can understand, somebody growing up and dealing with a lot of family trauma and stuff, kind of like what you've been through, and then you get into this wonderful relationship with a decent dude that truly loves you, cares for you, and respects you, and then it feels boring and it just feels unusual because you're used to normal being chaotic, huh, baby? So you're
Oh,
used
I'm
to
used to the
chaos.
drama.
You love. Okay, go ahead. I'm used to the drama. Go ahead.
I'm used to the
I'm used.
drama. Yeah,
You have.
I'm used to constant fighting, constant abuse, constant whatever. So the fact that you and I don't, like, that's why sometimes I will instigate one because I'm like, this isn't normal, you know? And which is why I'm currently going to therapy to figure all this out.
Yeah, Mr. Recliner Man. And you're welcome, Tim. Mr. Recliner Man says, "Thank you. I'm glad you like my name, Coach and his lady." Absolutely. Mr. Recliner Man, respectfully speaking, and I love both you and your wife. You seem to be great people, but does your wife sometimes, like a little bit of drama because, ladies have the emotions and they, sometimes they just like to instigate drama because it appeases your emotions, right, baby? It's like you get bored. If it's too good, if it's too perfect, it gets boring for women, right?
Um, Sometimes, and you've talked a lot about um if men do too much of the smothering and the I love yous and all that, it like pushes women away. And I know that you have been just trying to build me up by telling me I'm worth it and all this stuff. But that's one of the things that's like has been frustrating me so that I lash out.
You lash out because you're not used to a guy being good to you in the way you've always wanted him
Exactly.
to be good to you. You just never thought it would happen to you. And now that it's happening after all of the heartaches you've been through with past guys, it's like you love it, but at the same time, you don't, you're not used to it. It's hard to accept it, right? Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
absolute sense.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Many who experience family of origin dysfunction or trauma grew up with poor examples of relationships, leaving us with a limited reference of what is healthy. Many enter their own relationships only to repeat the patterns they swore they would avoid, but familiarity takes over in the absence of healthier coping skills. I don't have anything to add to that, baby. It makes sense. What about you?
That makes sense. I don't think that's something that is necessarily referred to me. I don't feel that we had that kind of dysfunction or trauma that led to that with me. I think that's not relevant to my issues.
No, I get that. It doesn't have to necessarily be relevant to your issues, but you can speak on, what's being said, even though it
Oh
may not
yeah, no.
directly relate to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, and I think it's perfectly said. I was just like you said it, like there's nothing more to say, and I just was adding the fact that yeah, I have nothing more to say, and it has nothing also to do with me because like that's why I have nothing else to say.
Okay.
I,
So
I really I really can't talk about that because I don't know about that.
okay. Well, then let's continue. Let's keep moving forward. In my work with survivors who are working to overcome family and relationship trauma, we move towards developing new expectations for romantic relationships, which often includes relearning how to engage with others in ways that reinforce healthy behaviors. Here are 8 elements of a healthy relationship that we focus on working towards. So I got nothing more to add to the
Nope.
prelude of what we're about to get into. The 8 elements. Let's
Let's
get to
go.
them. Number 1, mutual respect for each other's boundaries. This goes beyond the basics, such as not reading each other's emails or diaries, and moves into deeper territory. Our boundaries make up the metaphorical lines we draw around ourselves and others in ways that keep us most comfortable. These can be things such as limits on what we will allow with physical contact, who we want in our personal space, and what topics we are comfortable discussing. Healthy partners understand that trying to force each other to bend or challenge boundaries will make them uncomfortable and could lead to resentment or arguments. Let me just say this real quick before I turn it over to you, babe. Mutual respect for each other's boundaries is a must. Like, I trust my woman. I trust you, babe. I allow you to come and go as you wish. I don't bug you unless you want to be bugged. Like, I live my life. And when you want to be around, which just happens to be all the damn time without me having to do a thing, then we communicate by phone when we're not together, or we do a show, when we're not together. And then when we're together, we're in person. And I basically just respect your space. I let you do whatever the hell you want to do because I trust you. Because if I can't trust you to do whatever the hell you want to do, even when you're not around, then why should I be with you, right? Does that make sense? And what are your thoughts?
Exactly. That makes total sense. And yeah, I mean we have gone through this in our relationship. Um we like for instance, the hiking situation. You now know not to push those boundaries with me because I'm not quite there because it will
Right.
make me feel uncomfortable and because I want to do it with you, but I just can't physically do it yet.
Not yet.
And so, yeah, not yet. But so yeah, so we've been dealing with stuff like that, and we've been giving each other the boundaries we need. And even when we are staying with each other over the weekend, I think we give each other the right boundaries that we need. We give each other
Right.
space. I allow you to do your work You allow me to do mine. You know, if I want to go and sit outside and enjoy a cup of coffee, you let me do that. You know, it's just one of those things. So we appreciate our like each other's wishes.
Let me ask you a question, baby, in all honesty, with no disrespect. Who's more clingy and needy between you and I?
Oh God, it's 50-50.
Oh, really? Oh, baby. You think I'm clingy and needy? That took
Baby,
me by surprise.
do not even make me put some of our or our text messages up there. You
Baby,
know, I
listen,
mean,
listen. Let me be honest with you. If I was clingy and needy, I
it's
would have no
just we have
problem.
equal love. We just have equal
We
clingy
do.
love.
And as we get to the second part of the show, and you see and hear what I feel your attachment style is, this will make a lot more sense. Because there have been times where, like, I just wanted to be there for you because I know what you've been through, and I know this is what you need, to feel better, and you deserve to feel better. So sometimes, it's not that I don't want to, give you more. I want to give you as much as possible, but sometimes I kind of take it to an extreme because that's what it seems like you need at that moment when you're going through something. And I don't want you to think that I don't care, because I know
Yeah,
what you've been through. So that's why it may come off to you like I'm a little bit more needy and clingy, but actually I'm not. I would rather just be chill all the time. But because of what you've
yeah,
been through, I feel the need to more so reinforce and validate, you know, you know, that I still care, and and for women, validation seeking behavior is normal. For men, if I was seeking that from you, that really wouldn't be that manly. But anyway, let's continue before I get myself in trouble here. Number 2, open communication. This is huge, baby. To those who grew up in families with a lot of conflict or even avoidance of conflict, communication can feel scary and uncomfortable. This does not mean that healthy, open communication is unattainable for you. It just might feel foreign in the beginning and might take some practice. Communication is essential to expressing needs and wants and to discussing boundaries, all of which are healthy elements of a relationship. When a couple tells me we don't have boundaries, or a family tells me we already know each other's wants and needs, we do not need to talk about it, I know there is work to do. The bottom line is open communication is important, babe. And, if anyone during the, communication process, just shuts the other side out and says, oh, we already know what those boundaries are, they're basically not being open. They're basically shutting out that situation. I feel that communication should never end, and sometimes you may have to reinforce those healthy boundaries even with your partner that you're dating or that you're married to as a reminder. What are your thoughts, and how important is open communication to you?
well, I want to point out one huge factor with communication. Doesn't matter how well you are speaking and communicating, you also need to have somebody listening and having their ears open and listening to what you're saying. So that is, it's a two-way street there, you know? Um and like when and for me, my personal things here, I didn't have conflict in my family, but we did avoid a lot of situations and we didn't talk about a lot of things. And so, yeah, that communication was like cut off. And, like it made me feel like I couldn't express my feelings when I needed to get help.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from, but how important is open communication to you?
Oh my,
in a
it's
relationship.
so important. Yeah, you have, but what I'm saying is like you and I talk, but there are some times that you're not completely listening to the words I'm saying. And so that's why I'm saying open communication is so important, but you have to have an open listener at the other end because otherwise it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, babe, it's not that I'm not listening or most men don't listen. Just like women, men have selective hearing, and we want to feel respected and appreciated in a conversation. And when a conversation is coming from a high level of emotion, it's very difficult to listen to someone in that state. That's why I always tell people, if you're talking with your lady and she's in a heightened state of emotion, or you as a man are in a heightened state of emotion, you both need to walk away for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, cool off, and then come back and have that conversation once you're calm. Does that make sense, baby? Because honestly,
Yeah.
a man that loves a woman is not going to not listen to her intentionally. It's just that when the emotions are running high, it's kind of hard to listen and understand where the woman is coming from, or on the flip side, if it's happening from me on the flip side. So, like
Yeah.
I said, we
And
just
that's why, not not to like, share too much, but that's why I'll go outside, with a cup of coffee and sit out there and just get away for a little while, you know, just take a
okay.
break and then we'll come back and we'll talk in 20 minutes. You know, couples
Yeah,
have to do that.
they
It's
do.
very important to keep it positive. Otherwise, it's just going to go down the drain.
Absolutely. Let's keep moving forward because this is pretty lengthy and we got to get through this in the next 25 minutes. Number three, it can feel boring at times, especially to those of us who grew up with chaotic or dysfunctional families. To someone with anxious attachment, boring can signal distress in the brain. That's where I feel you're at, anxious attachment. But we'll
Yep.
share more about that during the second part of the show. Boring can signal distress in the brain. When we grow up in environments where there's a lot of fighting, tension, and strained relationships, we learn that this is how we can expect people to engage with each other, which is not true. It's not healthy. It can become normal to get used to the high that comes from the honeymoon period after an argument, and then it becomes a cycle. Healthy relationships get their needs met without the cycle of conflict, which can feel boring at first. Boring is normal. It is healthy, and it is secure. And that's where I feel I'm at with my attachment style. More on that during the second part of the show. We have a different blog for that. The four attachments, the four attachment styles, attachment theory. Children, let's go a little bit further up here. Children who grew up in chaotic and dysfunctional environments know that the boring times were few and far between, and they were usually following or preceding a chaotic or traumatic event. Much like we associate the calm before the storm, these children then become adults who are uncomfortable when things are calm. We elicit from the world what we project into the world. Well, what we put out, we get back. That's pretty much what it's saying. But what you
Yeah.
project is based upon what happened to you as a child. One more time, baby. But what you project is based upon what happened to you as a child. I'm going to turn it over to you because I've said enough about number three. Share your thoughts briefly about number three before we get to number four here. You got this.
Wow. That is
It's huge.
profound.
It is.
That
It
is
is. Go ahead.
very profound.
Yeah.
Um, I'll go back up to someone with anxious um yeah, attachment boring can signal distress in the brain. Yes. I have to have constant stimulation.
Oh,
My
God.
anxiety if what?
Oh, I know. I love you. I spend weekends with you. I
Oh,
know how it is to spend all weekend with you when you want 100% of my attention all day, every day. But go ahead, baby. I love you
well, it's
anyway.
either that, it's either your attention or I have to have the television going or I'm playing music. I have to have something, I have to have sound in the back, constant stimulation for my brain.
So you need a lot of background
And
noise. You can't be in silence. You need background noise, is what you're saying.
yes, and
No
that
problem.
helps with my anxious feelings. So,
Okay, go ahead.
um, I'm not going to say that I grew up in a chaotic or dysfunctional environment. It was pretty a normal childhood, I would say. There was some things that were not right, but I would say that yes, I I have been told several times that I just cannot be happy, and which means like I always have to have a storm around me. And that's because that's what I grew up with. And I don't
Yeah,
feel I
real.
deserve. Yeah.
You feel you don't deserve happiness, is what you're saying. But the truth of the matter is that it is because, and I'm glad you sent me this blog, babe, because you're going to go see your therapist tomorrow, and you can even tell her this. I think we figured it out based on this blog and the next one we're going to be reading. It's the anxious attachment style, and that's something that a psychiatrist, can definitely help you work through. So that way, you can become more, you can lead more into, excuse me, a secure attachment style, and then relax and not feel the need for as much constant stimulation. I totally get it. But let's continue. Number 4 here, because we got to move on, babe. Is that cool? Ready to move on here?
Yeah.
Number 4, they know how to fight. Rather, they work together to problem solve effectively. They confront conflict head on, but in an assertive and respectful way. In families where caregivers do not model healthy communication, children learn that conflict is uncomfortable or even scary due to the way in which it was handled. When conflict is handled as a punishment, either through aggression or passive aggression, children learn that it is something to avoid or even fear. Healthy couples argue sometimes, and this is okay. Sometimes they argue about big things and sometimes about small things, such as who misplaced the butter, and this is all normal. But the real test is whether you can turn to each other in the aftermath and say, I'm sorry, that was silly. So before I turn it over to you, baby, I feel it's pointless to argue a woman because you're just never going to win, because women are emotional beings. They're going to win every time. And if you argue a woman, it's like pouring more fuel on the fire than water on the fire, right? I prefer to call it discussing. Now, you might have a little bit of a heated discussion. It might get a little bit passionate, right? But I don't argue you. I don't fight you. I will never fight you. I will never argue you. It is absolutely fucking pointless to argue a woman if you're a man. But you got to try to discuss things. If you feel there's something off with your lady as a man, sit her down and talk with her. Vice versa. On the flip side, I mean, your lady, if she's feeling something and wants to talk with you, sit down and talk with her. Don't put it off. If you really love the woman, guys, you're not going to put off talking with her. A lot of guys will put off talking with their woman because they just don't want to deal with it. Well, if you don't want to deal with it, with everything that comes along with a woman, then why are you dating a woman, right? So I don't believe, in fights, but some men and women that are in this anxious attachment type of, style, bonding and connecting with people, they know how to fight, and them fighting you is what makes them feel better because of the state they're in. Does that make sense, baby? You've been in this state, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead and share your thoughts.
I just want to talk about the top paragraph there and say that yes, I believe that aggression and assertiveness and all of this is a learned behavior. So when you have children and they're seeing an unhealthy communication between their parents, loved ones, could be passive aggressive or aggressive. That's what they're learning. And that's what you're teaching them for their future relationships. And that's why, we've got to take a stand for our children now and teach them what's right, what's healthy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that, baby? That was well said.
No, we can move on to 5 now.
Okay. I didn't move up quick enough, so it's going to take about another 50 seconds before you see it. But I'll read it anyway. Number 5, both parties are contributing equal effort. It takes a lot of work to relearn the behaviors that contribute to a healthy relationship. And a lot of times that means doing the work on unlearning behaviors that are toxic. And baby, I'll stop right
Amen.
there. Baby, you say amen and we move forward, right? Thank you, baby. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I love your honesty. Hey, I've been through the same stuff, baby. And I've had to unlearn a lot of behaviors that are toxic, especially some of these morons out here on YouTube I used to associate with. But, we're going to leave that one alone. Let's continue. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So work on unlearning behaviors that are toxic, dysfunctional, and counterproductive. Yeah.
I give a double
They,
amen for them.
oh, double amen to the counterproductive because it's the opposite of what you
Yeah,
want to accomplish. Look what happened once
exactly.
we didn't want to get rid of these people. We didn't want to get rid of anyone, but they were toxic to us. Look what happened when we got rid of these people. We got monetized less than 2 months after that because we were able to focus. You see what happens when you unlearn behaviors that are toxic, dysfunctional, and counterproductive, babe? It speaks for itself, right?
Yeah.
But both people need to do the work in order to have a healthy partnership. And you and I, through thick and thin, have made it happen. And I'm very blessed to be your partner. I'm grateful and thankful to be your partner. Yeah, it's been challenging, but we have fought through and worked through each of those challenges together. Wow.
Same.
Wow. Let's see. Where do we leave off of? If one
5.
person is carrying the heavier burden, this is when it starts to blur the lines of codependency or enablement or even caregiving, all of which are common in family trauma survivors who have not done their work of healing. I've never been codependent on anyone, and it was interesting. My ex, before you, babe, I call her the activity partner. We're not going to mention her name. When I first met her, she said, she had codependency issues. And that's what was going on between her and her ex. And I never thought that would, be a big part, or would play a big part in a relationship working out. She was a nice lady. We hung out for a year. Then all of a sudden she walked out for no reason one night. You've heard the story and I've shared it out here before. And, whenever I hear the word codependency, I think of that situation. I'm like, maybe she felt codependent like her ex was, or maybe her ex came back to her. But what are your thoughts about codependency? Have you ever been in a codependent relationship?
Oh gosh, yes. I'm a very
And how did,
codependent person.
okay.
Yeah. And that is one of the big faults of being in the healthcare industry. You do become very codependent.
I think you mean dependent.
Not
I think you mean I think you mean you're a dependent person because
No,
codependency
no, I mean
would be
codependent because no, there is a difference and I understand that. We don't
okay.
enable. Um, it's just it's a different feeling. We are codependent to our patients and I don't know, it's a different feeling. Um, But yes, codependency all the time. Uh, my mother has asked me to go buy her cigarettes after I turned 18. I enabled her smoking, you know? Am I a bad person for that? No. Because like you and I have said, everybody is a grown ass person that makes these decisions. Like my mother even tried to call you out and say, why are you enabling her? Why are you buying her drinks? Like you're just being codependent. And you're like, no, ma'am, I'm sorry, but she's a grown ass woman. And if she wants to order a drink at dinner, she's going to order one. Whether or not I pay for it or not, she's going to make sure it gets paid for. I have no
Yeah.
like control over it. If I say
I
no at
told
the
her,
table, yeah, if I say no at the table, she's going to get up and walk to the bar and get it herself.
I was like, ma'am, respectfully speaking, I don't control your daughter. Like, I can't tell her what to do. I can say, hey, just be
Encourage.
careful. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you can
but it's
encourage me.
and I wasn't being rude. I could have gone. I could have come back at your mother and said, ma'am, would you like me to tell you what to do? Oh, no one tells me what to do. Well, your daughter's a woman too. You think I can tell her what to do? Yeah, maybe there are times where she has had a little too much to drink and I wish she didn't and I want to tell her, but what's that going to do? What's that going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Jenny
if
Sadler,
you want to
I
tell
think,
me,
hold on a second, babe. Jenny
oh,
Sadler, toxic relationships, this would not come up searching that. This has nothing to do with toxic relationships. So I think you're actually here trolling, but you can stick around as long as you don't violate my rules. But thank you for being here anyway. Go ahead, baby. Sorry.
oh no, no worries. I don't know what I was going to say there, but we can move on.
Okay. Fair enough. Um, number 5. Oh, did I already just read that? I think I did.
No, yeah, we're going on to 6.
We're going on to number 6 now. Okay, it'll take a little bit of time to update on your screen. Feeling understood. Many couples, when reflecting back on what initially drew them to each other, will remark that they felt that the other person got them or understood them. Much like in the romantic comedies where the eccentric characters find each other, people want to feel like they have found their person or at least someone who understands them and loves them for who they truly are and not who society wants them to be. Yeah, I think when you and I first met, babe, I think we had an understanding for each other. And I've been through a lot in life. And, I kind of sensed that you had been through a lot and you just wanted a change. You have been just looking for something positive and uplifting and loving and caring and everlasting and genuine. And so have I. And when we first met, it was a spontaneous combustion. And here we are. What are your thoughts about that? Feeling understood. I think you and I, despite, and baby, here's the thing. We don't really argue, baby. I think the only reason why it comes off like we argue is because of your anxious attachment style. And we're going to talk more about that during the second half of the show when we get to that. And I think, go ahead.
I think it's also because just like I just did, we talk over each other. So one of my main things is I've always felt that I'm not being heard. And so when you and I are talking and you interrupt me, that causes my anxiety and frustration. And that's the only reason
Ah,
why we might bicker at times.
but other than that,
No, we're fine. Our,
we have no
my
issues.
communication, yeah, our communication's fine.
It's too good. We both talk way too much, baby. That's for damn sure. We both talk way too much, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I talk in my sleep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
talk in my goddamn sleep.
Well, I think that's the only time I don't talk. So that's good for you. So at least when I'm sleeping, you can talk all you want all night long. Anyway, I love you, baby. You're so funny. You are funny.
Love you too.
Let's see. JN, congrats on the monetization. Yeah. If you've been around, I've had my main channel's been monetized for 2.5 years, but this is a second channel I got monetized. But thank you for that, JN. Welcome to the show. Let's just see here 1 second. JN. Joined January 6, 2020. All right. Welcome to the show, JN. Great to see you here. All right. Anything else, baby, or should we move on to number 7?
7.
Number 7, trust and security. Each partner needs to feel that their partnership is a secure base. Absolutely. We'll talk more about that during the second part of the show. I can't wait to get to that, babe. It's good. It's going to be good. There is a lot of growth in couples who have their own interests and are able to embrace those. Traveling solo, attending classes or events alone, and having friends who you see one-on-one are all part of having healthy individuality. If you do not trust your partner to do occasional solo activities, ask yourself why not and explore what comes up. It might be that you are following your gut, or it might be something deeper within yourself. Because my wonderful woman here has an anxious attachment style, like she would rather be with me than be alone or do things on her own. But here's the thing, baby. How often do I encourage you to go hang out with your friends, go do things on your own during the week? Like, how often do I encourage you? It's not that I don't want to be with you. I want to let you breathe and live your life, right? Like,
well, yeah. And this week I did that. And when I went out to go get my nails done on the coast, I happened to text one of my friends that used to live here in this town and moved out there. And I said, hey, what are you doing? Let's meet up. And so I got to go see him. And it was a great, it was just a great time. It was just about an hour and a half. And we just got to catch up because we hadn't seen each other in probably about 8 months. And since he had moved out to that area. And so it was really nice. And then today I went to lunch with another friend, and you have all the trust in me. I'm saying I'm going out with this person or that person. You're like, alrighty, baby, you have fun. You enjoy your day out with your friend, and text me when you are home or pop onto my show, whatever. So no, I think this is a really good thing to have. I don't have any problems with you going out. I trust you wholeheartely.
yeah, I haven't gone out that much lately besides creating YouTube videos and hanging out with family and stuff and hanging out with you. I've been so busy. So yeah, but we do trust each other. And I encourage my lady to, spend some time with her friends and shake it up a little bit. And I know she would still rather spend more time with me, but I know deep within, baby, even with your anxious attachment style, you appreciate the fact that I trust you to go out with friends, even guy friends and stuff,
Yeah, because these two friends this week were both male friends. And
right.
They are two friends that I trust with, my safety and everything. They would never cross that boundary.
Right.
And so we've been friends for several years.
Right. And unlike these insecure trolls out here that'll come in, Eli's woman's getting smashed by those dudes that she's hanging out with when she's not with him, right? And it's like, I'm so secure within myself that I don't even think about it. And I know she's not doing it. And if it happens, so be it. We deal with it at that point and move on. Well, it would probably be over. But I'm just a secure guy. I just don't think about that. If I can't trust my lady to do things when she's not with me, then why should I be with her? Why should I be with her? Why should she be with me? Right? Anything else before we move on to the last
Yes.
one, baby?
Well, and all I want to say is like, these are my friends and they know everything about you and me, like as far as our relationship is concerned,
Yeah.
so they would never try to compromise that. What the gentleman I had friends lunch with today, I've been friends with for 8 years. He has been married to his wife for 30 years. There's nothing
Amen.
going on there. Yeah,
Excellent.
I mean, literally, there's nothing going on there. It's just we're friends. That's it. His
Yeah.
wife wanted to come. His wife wanted to come, but she woke up this morning not feeling well. She had a stomach issue, so she decided to stay home.
Okay.
It was going to be the three of us, but, it just turned out to be the two of us. No big deal.
No worries.
I
She
just
trusts
said,
him. I trust you, and we're all good.
well, that's the thing. Like, and like he just texted her. He's like, "Do you want me to bring you anything?" She said, "Just some soup. Just bring me home some
Okay.
soup."
Bring
Yeah,
home some soup,
because she
baby.
wasn't feeling good. Well, yeah, she wasn't feeling good. Her stomach was upset. So,
Is that was that
you know,
chicken noodle soup, baby? That's the best chicken noodle soup.
yes. Yeah, he did get her chicken noodle.
You know what, baby? When I was in grammar school, I used to go to a school called St. Joseph's in Menlo Park, and it was a Catholic preppy type of school, private school. And we had the cafeteria, and we had this like lady that was like originally from like Italy or somewhere, and she was the cafeteria manager. She would make, but she was the cook too. She was just incredible. And I would go, "What's the soup today?" And she goes, "Chicken nana noodle." She would go, "Chicken nana noodle."
Na noodle.
Chicken nana noodle today? Yeah, I love your chicken nana noodle, man. It's good stuff. Good shit. That was the best chicken nana noodle ever. Like, I haven't had chicken noodle that good, chicken noodle soup that good since my grammar school days. I miss that lady's cooking. She was great. She was great. But anyway, let's get on to
Oh,
the let's get on the. I have a lot of stories, baby. I have so many stories. I'll never run out of content. You and I will never ever run out of content. Number 8, intimacy through shared interests and passions. Ooh, you like this one, huh, baby? Yeah, much like the previous.
yeah.
Yeah, she does. She does. Much like the previous quality emphasizes the importance of solo interests, couples who have shared enjoyment in their relationship tend to report more purpose and longevity. This is not frequency or quality of sexual interactions, which is a common question among many couples who are concerned if their relationship is normal, but more about all areas of what the couple identifies as their shared intimacy. If you share coffee together every morning, a Sunday morning yoga class, or an evening walk through the neighborhood every night, these rituals are part of your shared intimacy. Before I turn it over to you, babe, we sit down and have coffee every morning. We're together. Um, and we do these shows together. That's part of our intimacy. We go take nice drives and play our music on the way to dinner or any event we're going to. And that's part of shared intimacy to me. We can getaway trips. That's shared intimacy to me. And it's not just the actual intimacy with you guys putting your pee-pee in the cave. Okay? It's more than that, right, baby? Go, go ahead, baby. You like that, huh? The cave,
You're
baby.
peeping in the cave.
Well,
What is
baby,
that? What are
we're
you,
we're we're
7?
we're monetized now. I'm trying to be a little more advertiser friendly, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm trying to play by the
You're
rules here a little
funny.
bit. Go ahead, baby. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
cheese and rice. Um, no, I absolutely agree. And I think this holds true for all couples, but even more couples that are up there in age,
Right,
when
right.
like when you meet somebody in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, you have to realize you're not going to be rabbits anymore, but the intimacy of sharing coffee out on the porch in the sunlight is just as good. The lying on the couch in each other's arms is just as special, you know, holding each other's hands and just taking a short little walk. That's special. And I mean, it's not really what's going on with us right now, but I understand it and I get it, you know? I lost you. You're muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Jenny Sadler in the chat. Sorry, I was muted. Thanks for reminding me. Jenny Sadler in the chat says LOL. She was laughing at our wonderful playful. I can't even talk. Our wonderful playful banter. God, I can't get the words out of my mouth tonight, baby. I'm excited that you're here. And yeah, there's just been a lot going on. So, yeah. But go ahead, baby, because we're going to take a break here in a second.
No, I'm good. I had finished up and I was waiting for you to respond, but you were muted.
Baby, I'm going to turn off the camera here for a second. Do you see the beautiful background?
Yes.
The camera will turn off in a second here. Man, I've been drinking a lot of caffeinated soda today, and I've got a lot of gas.
No
so
shit.
I've been muting. Well, yeah, but you'll be able to see that background without me in the picture. JN says question mark. I don't understand what that question mark means. Are you asking
What's your
Jenny?
question mark for?
Well, maybe JN's wondering why Jenny said LOL. I think it was because of our playful banter. Or, I don't know, maybe because I was muted for a second and he saw me speaking. Because there is a 1 minute delay. We have a 1 minute delay here in case something is said that we need to dump before it hits out to YouTube. So that could be a little bit confusing there. But anyway, baby, anything else before we take the break and then come back and talk about attachment styles?
No.
It's going to get even more interesting when we get back, baby.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
All right, baby. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage and we're going to step away for a break. And we'll see you on the flip side, baby. All right, I'm putting you backstage.
Flipping around. All right.
All right. Bye for now, baby. All right.
Bye.
All right. So we're going to step away for about an 8 or 9 minute break. And when we return, we are going to be discussing what is your attachment style, attachment theory explained. One more time. What is your attachment style, attachment theory explained? Stick around. That's what we're going to discuss after the break. So again, stick around. Stick around. Stick around. Round. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. All right. Yeah, I feel real good. I feel fantastic. I feel phenomenal tonight. How do you feel tonight? Ask yourself, how do you feel tonight? And if you're not feeling good, let me know what I can do and my lady can do to make you feel better. That's what it's all about over here. Fire it up. Get fired up. Get fired up. Welcome to the show, Layla Sharp. Interesting name there. Yeah. Yeah. Okie dokie, let's get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2 authentic live streams, where we are now monetized here as of this past Monday. So in addition to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, being monetized or having been monetized for the last 2.5 years, we're now monetized over here as well. So with that being said, we have now moved all of the live streams here to this channel, and my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, will primarily focus on the highest quality pre-recorded videos in the highest quality at 4K, 60 frames per second. They're going to be more bite-sized content, maybe 15 to 30 minutes at the most or so. We're also going to be doing some more YouTube shorts over there on my main channel. Those are those 1 minute or less TikTok style videos. And last but not least, we're also going to be working on some more exclusive members-only content. There's already 21 pieces of members-only content on my main channel there, and more to come. And speaking of which, this channel will be getting channel memberships sometime next week or so. And when that happens, we will create some membership packages here as well. And we're also going to be getting the shopping tab that we already have on the main channel. Once that happens, I'm going to be putting out some Coach Eli merch. So lots of great, interesting things, great things happening over here. With that being said, if you'd like to make a donation to support the channel, myself, my lady, and the business, you can make a donation in any amount based on the value you feel you are receiving. You can go to the bottom of the chat here on Coach Eli 2 now and send a super chat or super sticker, or you can even send a PayPal or Cash App. Nightbot's been sharing my PayPal and Cash App links in the chat every 7 minutes, or you can just go to paypal.me/Coach Eli on PayPal, and on Cash App, you can go to $the real Coach Eli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. All right. So anyway, all right. Give me 1 second here, folks. Give me just 1 second here. All right, tonight we've been discussing 8 elements of a healthy relationship, plus the 4 types of attachment styles. During the first part of the show, we discussed 8 elements of a healthy relationship. My lady and I went through it thoroughly. We shared our experiences along with the blog authors. Some very interesting stuff. If you missed it, go back and check out the replay. And now let me go ahead and bring my lady back on to the show, and we'll get to the next part. This is the part I've been waiting for. Babe, welcome back to the show. How's it going?
Hey there. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. Doing very, very well, baby. Great break. Refilled my coffee and ready to rock and roll. Also use the little boys' room too, so I feel better.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to
I
know.
took the dogs out. I let the dogs out so they could do that. And then I used the little girls' room. And
who let the dogs out?
Well,
oh, you remember that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't start barking in here, otherwise they're gonna bark back at me.
That's true. They're going to feel like you want them to participate, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna
They're
think I'm talking to them.
right. Then they're going to join in the festivities and the fun, right? I get it. I get it, baby.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
and and we
but
don't really want to bring them on the show yet. They'll be
yeah,
there.
at some point we're going to bring you and the dogs on the show and make it one big happy family. We'll dox everybody at some point. And when I say dox everyone, I mean within my family, our family, my lady's family, and the dogs and all that. We're not quite, ready to do that yet, but we'll do that at some point. I think people will really, really like that once we do it. Of course, some other people will have their fun with it in different ways, but we're not going to worry about that, baby. We know how some people are, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, baby, let's get to the next part of the show here, the second part of the show. I'm going to switch back over to the browser screen. Okay, there we are. There we are. And this is from the MBG mindbodygreen.com website. And the title of the blog is Style ? Attachment Theory Explained. One more time. Style ? Attachment Theory Explained. This is by Kelly Gonsalves. Gonsalves, I can't pronounce her name. Contributing Sex and Relationships Editor. Expert review by Christina Hallett, PhD, ABPP. Is a board-certified psychologist with a background in neuroscience. Okay, at least there's a little I circle there for information, and it tells you what it means. But she's a therapist. She's a psychologist, baby, right?
Well, and she specializes in like neuroscience, which is the brain.
And that's what we need a lot of help with, right, baby?
That's where it all comes from.
Yeah. So she's an expert on mental illness, is what you're saying.
Yep. Well, that's what she's saying.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Let's continue here. Last updated on September 29th, 2021. So a little less than a year ago. Let's get right to it. Why are some people very aloof and unattached in their relationships, while others are clingy and need constant validation? According to attachment theory, it is because different people have different attachment styles. Here's everything you need to know about the 4 attachment styles, how they're formed in childhood, and how to develop a secure attachment style. And that's exactly where you want to be. Whether you're a man or a woman, you want to be secure with your attachment style. But that typically doesn't happen with most people. What are your thoughts, baby, before we get right to it here?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm really intrigued about this. I'd like to just get started.
I figured you would be. And I wanted to put a topic out here that I knew would definitely draw you out to do a show with me tonight, baby, because I missed having you on the show. Isn't that sweet, baby? I missed having you on the show. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry if I had to go do my darts last night.
Well, I'm okay. I love you anyway.
I love you too.
Yeah. You're just having fun with me, just like I'm having fun with you. It's great. All right. So what is an attachment style? A person's attachment style is their specific way of relating to others in relationships. According to attachment theory, first developed by psychologist Mary Ainsworth and psychiatrist John Bowlby in the 1950s, attachment style is shaped and developed in early childhood in response to our relationships with our earliest caregivers. Essentially, our adult attachment style is thought to mirror the dynamics we had with our caregivers as infants and children. So basically, what they're saying here, baby, is what I've been saying all along, is that, basically everything that you become as a man or a woman stems back to your childhood based on how your parents raised you. What are your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. Everything's a learned process.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that, or does that say it all?
Oh, that says it all.
Amen. Let's continue. Attachment style includes the way we respond emotionally to others, as well as our behaviors and interactions with them, says therapist Alyssa Leah Mancao, Mancao, LCSW. There are 4 main adult attachment styles: secure, anxious avoidant, and fearful avoidant, aka disorganized. The latter 3 are all considered forms of insecure attachment. Some research measures these attachment styles based on an individual's levels of avoidance and anxiety in relationships, and or as seen in the chart below.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just put this chart here for a second. And I know you're going to see that in a second, baby. What are your thoughts? Anything else you want to add to this so far?
No, I just want to see this chart.
Yeah, it'll pop up on your screen in just about 30 seconds or so due to the delay. But it says, it says on the top, it says high avoidance. On the bottom, it says low avoidance. On the left, it says low anxiety. On the right, it says high anxiety. So, the avoidant and secure are on the low anxiety end. The fearful, avoidant, and anxious are the high anxiety end. And then the avoidant and fearful avoidant are on high avoidance. And secure and anxious are on low avoidance. So that is interesting there. That is very interesting there. Has it popped up on your screen yet there, baby?
Oh, it's coming. Yes, it's coming right now.
Nice and crystal clear in 1080p HD at 60 frames per second. Yeah, it's all good.
On my very large television, yes.
Yeah. So, any thoughts on that chart there, baby? Have you looked at it enough so we can continue?
There's a lot of thoughts there, but let's go on what they have to say.
All right, let's continue here. The 4 attachment styles. Number 1, secure attachment. And this is where I feel I'm at. Secure attachment style refers to the ability to form secure, loving relationships with others. A securely attached person can trust others and be trusted. I'm hearing sounds in the background.
Sorry.
It's okay. A secure attached person can trust others and be trusted, love and accept love, and get close to others with relative ease. They're not afraid of intimacy, nor do they feel panicked when their partners need time or space away from them. I never have a problem with that at all. I encourage it. They're able to depend on others without becoming totally dependent. About 56% of adults have a secure attachment type, according to foundational attachment research by social psychologists Cindy Hazen and Philip Shaver. That's a great name for a guy last name. Philip Shaver. That's a great last name. In the 1980s. He must have had some... people must have had fun. The boys must have had fun with Philip Shaver's last name. In grammar school and high school. All other attachment styles that are not secure are known as insecure attachment styles. So, baby, what are your thoughts about the secure attachment style? And is that where you feel I'm at?
I do feel that you are at that level. I do feel trust from you. I feel love and acceptance. Everything is pretty much easy when it comes to our relationship. I really do. I agree that's probably where you are.
Okay. I want to welcome again Leila Sharp to the show. She says hello everyone. Brandy C says hi, chat and host. I've been listening in. This is very informative. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I've talked about this many times in the past on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, but wanted to do this here tonight. It's been a while since I've talked about attachment styles, and I have my lady here. So, that brings a little more oomph and value to it. But yes, thank you for being here, and thank you for your kind words. Okay, so let's go on to number 2, anxious attachment. And that's where I feel you're at, baby. Let's read this, and then you can tell me what you think, okay?
Okay.
Anxious attachment style is a form of insecure attachment style marked by a deep fear of abandonment. Truth bomb?
Wolf.
Truth bomb?
Yeah.
Truth bomb. All right, let's continue. Anxiously attached people tend to be very insecure about their relationships, often worrying that their partner will leave them and thus always hungry for validation. Wow, kind of sounds like somebody I know, baby. No disrespect intended.
On your face.
I love you, baby. I love you. I do. I seriously do. Anxious attachment is associated with neediness or clingy behavior, such as getting very anxious when your partner doesn't text back fast enough and constantly feeling like your partner doesn't care enough about you. I'm not trying to lie. This is serious stuff, baby. But let's continue. Anxious attachment. Hang on a second here. Anxious attachment is also known as anxious preoccupied attachment, and it generally aligns with the anxious and ambivalent attachment style or anxious resistant attachment style observed among children. Some 19% of adults have the anxious attachment type, according to Hazen and Shaver's research. All right, baby. Your turn. What are your thoughts? Do you feel this is the attachment style you have, and what are your thoughts about it?
Oh, wow. Yes, I do feel I have some of these behaviors. I do have a deep fear of abandonment. I've always feared I was going to be alone in my life. So that gives me that anxiety, and that's why I cling as hard as I do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And I won't lie, like, if you don't text me back, like, I'm like, all right, well, we're not doing anything. He gave up on me. And like, I still think that to this day.
Yeah, real quick, baby. Brandy C says, the two of you have great chemistry, it seems. Love the energy. Well, thank you, Brandy C. I just responded to you in the chat, and I appreciate it. I'm sure my lady does as well. Huh, baby?
Yes.
Baby, you mind if I jump in, or do you have anything else you want to say before I jump in?
Oh, no, go ahead, jump in.
So, I was kind of laughing a little bit as I was reading this, but this is not a laughing matter. I was only laughing because I love you, and I know this is. I mean, honestly, I think this describes you to the T perfectly. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with identifying what someone is going through, so that way we can hone in on getting them the help they need to overcome this and have a more secure attachment style, right? And
yes.
But it's not funny. These are things that you and I encounter regularly. Many times when you and I are together, you go through moments of this anxious attachment style, and it has nothing typically to do with me. What it has to do with is your abandonment stemming back to your childhood, right? And it says here, anxious attachment style is a form of insecure attachment style marked by a deep fear of abandonment. You have a deep fear of abandonment, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so that's where it all stems from. So as a man that loves you, and any man that is dating or married to a woman with this type of attachment style, you really need to dig deep and understand what she's going through, because it really has nothing to do with you for the most part. It has to do with something unresolved, typically stemming back to her childhood. And if you really love your woman and you care for your woman, you're going to sit down and talk with her and figure this out and get her the help she needs. Like with my lady, I said, hey, babe, maybe we should go see a therapist or a counselor. Are you open to that? And baby, you didn't even question me. You said yes right away, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And we found you a great therapist, and it's just it's amazing. So yeah, this is, in my honest opinion, I'm not a psychologist. I'm a coach, but I read a lot. I read a lot of psychology stuff or psychological stuff. And this is actually one of the most difficult attachment styles to deal with. You're going to have someone, in the case of a man being with a woman like this, she's going to cling on to you so tight. Like, baby, when you and I first got together, and I'm not saying you still don't do this, but it was a lot worse when we first got together. Like, you used to cling on really, really super tight initially, huh? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And as the months have gone by, and now we've been together almost 11 months, you're still clinging on. But have you noticed you've kind of loosened up a little bit? I mean, you still have this type of attachment style, but you've loosened up at least 50, 60%. Have you noticed that within yourself?
Yes.
And that's because we've been talking about these things, and we've been working through them, and my lady's been seeking the help. And if you're dealing with this, folks, we can help you find the help. Reach out to us. We can get you the right information. We can refer you where to go from here. If we can't help you, we can refer you to, find a therapist in your area. And that could, change things for the better. Anything else you want to mention, baby, regarding anxious attachment style?
No, I don't. I'm good.
All right.
But
Number
I do
3.
want to say hold on. I do want to say to Brandy C, yes, anxiety is difficult and is debilitating, and it's a very draining thing. It really drains your energy.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. And it also drains, if it's a lady like you, baby, it also drains your man's energy, even though your man is, in a secure attachment style. It drains my energy because all I want to do is take your pain away.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, right? And then you're going to fight
Yeah.
me and say, baby, I don't want you to fix me. I don't want you to fix me, right? And it's not that I'm trying to fix you. I just want you to be happy because I love you, right? So yeah, anxiety is very difficult. It's not only draining for the person with anxiety, it's draining for her partner too, right, baby? Let's be fair about it,
Yes.
right? Oh, go ahead. Go
Absolutely.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right with that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why I think couples therapy is really important when somebody is going through this. Because, if you've got a good relationship going, you don't want to damage that because you are stuck in some trauma. The best thing to do is get that therapy and release it and move forward. Because if you find that perfect person, don't lose that person. My gosh.
Right. Right.
It's only once in a lifetime you're going to find that soulmate.
You're right. You're right. And we've definitely found each other. Brandy C. furthermore says, that's a good point. I never looked at it from past trauma point of view. Well, yeah, I'm not a psychologist. I'm a coach. But, I've done a lot of personal development. I follow many other coaches, read many books, etc. And most issues typically stem back to your childhood and the way that you were raised by your mother and father. And so, yeah, that's something that you may want to look into, research on the internet, and you will see that most trauma stems back to your childhood and how you were raised by your mother and father. if you had a broken, household, like if your mother and father divorced or one of them passed away and you were raised by just one of them, yeah, that can affect how you end up. Yeah. So,
Or you were raised by your grandparents because your parents were incarcerated or whatnot.
yeah.
All of that is contributing factors.
And then you feel abandoned, right, baby? When your parents
Yeah.
ship you off, right?
Well,
Because something comes up.
it's like you think as a child, like if your parents are doing things that are going to risk their freedom and put them in jail, like
Hmm.
then yeah, you feel abandoned as a child. You don't feel loved enough for them to make the right choices to take care of you.
No, you're right. You're right. Jenny says, I'm disabled and I have high anxiety. I can understand that. Don't let your disability affect you, Jenny.
No.
I know many disabled people that are the most amazing people I've met. One person, um, I wish that him and I could be working together, but because he can't remove himself from drama out here on YouTube, I got to stay away from him. But I respect this guy. His name is RJ Sandifer. He is a blind and autistic YouTuber. And it is amazing what he can do, despite the fact that he's blind and he has Asperger's, a form of autism. He can do podcast style of live streams. And he has an amazing voice. He's also been a preacher, and he has a great singing voice too. He's just an amazing person. So don't ever let your disability get in the way of allowing you to accomplish whatever it is your heart desires. You know, just own it and live it, and let people know, hey, yeah, I'm disabled, but that doesn't mean, I can't do things, right? Sure.
Yeah, this is me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just be like,
Yeah,
this is me.
this is me. Right. Right. And with YouTube, let me tell you, with YouTube, anyone can be a YouTuber, disabled or not. Anyone can create out here. Maybe start a YouTube channel and talk about your disability and share with people, hey, you don't have to use your disability as a crutch, and you don't have to deal with the BS of people that attack disabled people. People that, I'll tell you this, Jenny, um, yes, you may be technically disabled, but I consider people that attack disabled people more disabled than actual disabled people, because those people have some serious issues in their head,
Mental issues.
mental issues. Yeah, you're probably talking
And you
about
know what?
a physical disability. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I want to say, like you say I'm disabled and I have high anxiety. And Brandy says I have some disabilities too. Well, I want to come up here and say I am proudly saying I have mental health issues. So, we are all on the same page. Um, we just got to tackle them and just stand up and be, you know what? This is me. Look out, because here I come. We're gonna just face our demons. We're gonna face our anxiety, and we're gonna fix it.
Baby, you remind me of a little Hall & Oates. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll.
Chew you up,
That's right. Whoa, here she comes. She's a what, baby?
man eater.
She's a man eater. Well done, baby. Well done. Let's continue here. Number 3, baby, avoidant attachment. It should be on your screen already.
Yes.
Avoidant attachment style is a form of insecure attachment style marked by a fear of intimacy. Well, baby, you do not have a fear of intimacy. That's like your favorite
No,
thing,
but I
baby.
know somebody who does. I know somebody who does.
Really?
Finish reading. Yeah, finish reading and we'll talk about this person.
People with avoidant attachment style tend to have trouble getting close to others or trusting others in relationships, and relationships can make them feel suffocated. They typically maintain some distance from their partners or are largely emotionally available in their relationships, preferring to be independent and rely on themselves. Avoidant attachment is also known as dismissive avoidant attachment, and it generally aligns with the anxious avoidant attachment style observed among children. Some 25% of adults have the avoidant attachment type, according to Hazen and Shaver. Let me guess, baby, the person that you know that has an avoidant attachment style is your son.
Nope.
Do I know
Nope.
this person?
Yes.
Oh, it's your friend. Your friend.
Yes.
Your friend that's dating that guy that did the background check on
Yes.
me. Yeah,
Yes.
she don't mention her name. Oh, she's definitely
No.
avoidant.
Yes.
Yeah, she won't. She has even troubles hooking up with guys she's casually dating. Like she just doesn't like sex. She doesn't like sex.
She doesn't like to feel vulnerable.
Wow. You know, baby, vulnerability is like one of the most feminine qualities out there. Like, how can you be a female without being vulnerable?
I don't know.
Is that a good? Is that a good question? Is that a good question? I mean, seriously, is that a good question or not?
Question. It's a great question.
All
But
right.
when I was at lunch with my friend today, and we were speaking on this, he mentioned, she is just a miserable person, and that's the energy she puts off to men. And that's coming from a man. So,
Wow.
like, yeah.
Well,
like he picks up on it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, babe. If your friend has the avoidant attachment style, which makes sense, because I was thinking, number one, you had told me, about your son and his dating experiences and how he's taking a break from women and just focusing on himself. I mean, and then when you said it wasn't him, I'm like, it's this woman that is, I guess, former best friend, kind of still best friend, acquaintance, whatever she is, right? She's the woman that's kind of sort of dating this bail bondsman that ran an extensive background check on me and tried to say things about me that weren't true. But anyway, not a big deal. We're over that. It never bothered me anyway. But until she's open to the help, babe, until she's open to seeing a therapist or having someone like myself or another coach or somebody.
Well, yeah, like I think I've shared, she's been hurt by her baby daddy, and then the next guy she got into a relationship with was really bad and cheated on her. And after that, she really just took a step back and just decided to raise her daughter and be alone. And once she made that her mind up there, it was over.
Yeah.
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 She could not trust others in relationships.
Yeah. And baby, I say this all the time. Half the battle to recovering from all this is participating in your own rescue. Until she's willing to participate in her own rescue, just like you've been participating in your own rescue, no one can help her. I mean, she has to initiate the help, right? So, if she wants to, live this loveless, sexless life at this point in their life, that's on her. As far as you don't want to live a loveless and sexless life. You want to have a good man, make love, have fun, right? So you're owning it and you're like, I'm going to get the help that's going to better my life with myself, my man, and our families, right?
Yes.
But you came to that realization on your own and you decided to participate in your own rescue. And that's half the battle of turning your life around. You have to want to turn it around before anyone can help you start turning it around. Right? Go ahead. You tell me.
Yes. Yes. No, that is true. But I want to give you some credit because when I met you, you you just gave that breath in me to go further in the help I needed. Because I was at a point where I didn't want to do it. I was feeling defeated in my life. And when I met you, it was just a breath of fresh air. And you came in and you just gave me life again.
Well, I appreciate you saying those kind words. And I'm very intuitive. And I know when something feels right. And I could also sense that you had been through a lot when I first met you, but I knew you had the biggest heart and soul. And that won me over. Because look, I'm not a judgmental person. We all go through things, right? And I'd rather be with someone that is going through a lot of things, but also has a big heart and soul and is a kind, loving person than be with a woman that's never been through anything that is just a flat out female dog, right? And so
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you. Let's continue here because we have a little more to go. This is the fourth one, but there's a little bit more to go. And I want to wrap this up over the next 15 minutes. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes, almost 1 hour and 46
Yeah.
minutes. All right. Number 4, fearful avoidant attachment, aka disorganized. And I think this is something that you've had an issue with kind of also with organization, but I think you've gotten a lot better at it. Fearful avoidant attachment style is a combination of both the anxious and avoidant attachment styles. People with fearful avoidant attachment both desperately crave affection and want to avoid it at all costs. Well, you don't try to avoid affection. You want more and more affection because that makes you feel more and more connected and more wanted, right, baby?
Um, no, I actually understand that.
Oh, go ahead.
Wow, that actually that kind of hit home a little bit.
Mm.
Um, because there are times that I am craving attention and I want to go out and see people and talk to people. And then there are other times where I don't want to leave the house. I don't even want to go do the things that interest me the most, like my darts.
Mm.
I've got to drag myself out of bed just to go take the dogs out for a walk. It's like, and I don't even want to be around people, you know?
Yeah. 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 Real quick here in the chat, baby. Um, Thanks, guys. I try not to, says Jenny. Yeah, don't let it get to you. And if people talk smack about you or your disabilities, just ignore them because they're just jealous of you. They're projecting onto you. Jenny furthermore says Tim Robbins comes up on your commercials. Cool. Yeah, typically YouTube will try to associate ads that that coincide with the genre of content you create. So I'm not surprised. YouTube and Google, they're very sophisticated with ad targeting. They're like the best in the world. So awesome. Cool, says Jenny. Thank you. Brandy C says, oh, yeah, I can sure relate. Yeah, yeah. All right, baby. Go ahead. Anything else before I continue? There's more to read regarding this
Um,
fearful avoidant attachment, aka disorganized style.
okay,
Should
yeah,
I?
go ahead, read. Yeah.
They're reluctant to develop a close romantic relationship, yet at the same time, They have a dire need to feel loved by others. That does describe you quite a bit, baby. That's interesting, huh?
Uh, I, I'm not reluctant to develop a close romantic relationship, but I do feel the dire need to feel loved or accepted by people. And it's just a matter of the fact that, when I go out and about, I don't know why people have to judge and hate so much
Yeah.
and talk so much shit. That's why I get so insecure. And
Yeah. And
but
this has to
yeah,
do with this has to do with your abandonment, right, baby? Do you think this has to stem do you think this stems directly to your abandonment?
a little bit, yeah. And probably my anxiety is like, even if like I see somebody looking at me, like, and they just might not even be looking at me, they might be looking past me, but I automatically think that they're judging me about something or something, and that's my anxiety. Um, it's just, I don't know, and I've gotten some tough skin over the years, but I still get triggered, and I told this story um a couple weeks ago about that night at darts when
Yeah.
that person came up to me, and
And
it's a
sexually assault
trigger.
and assaulted you sexually. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and you know what, I if I was a petty bitch, I could have called the cops, but
Sure.
I'm not. I let the guys in the bar handle it. But yeah, no, those that was a triggering moment for me. It caused a lot of anxiety and panic, you know. Um, I go out and I don't crave attention. I go out and have fun. Do I dress nice? Yes, I do. Not overly provocative, but I just go out and I have fun. I dance and I have fun with all the people there. But that does not invite anybody to come up and assault me like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying, baby. And thank you for sharing that. Let me read the chat real quick here. Brandy C says, um, I wish I could do that. I have severe social anxiety. I'm agoraphobic. Tam, I'm going to read your message. I think Nightbot timed you out. I don't know why, but I'll read your message in a second. Uh, yeah, the agoraphobia, I believe, is when like you feel like you can't escape a situation that you'd want to escape from,
Yeah,
right? And so I think I had that a little bit when I was growing up. Like when I was in grammar
I
school, I had
believe
a,
agoraphobia is when you have the fear of leaving your home.
yeah, and it's also like if you're in a situation where you feel you can't escape. For example, like when I used to be in grammar school, I used to have a fear, in my younger days, first, second, third grade, of being called up to, the front of the class and go to the chalkboard to answer a question, especially if I wasn't prepared for it, And so it would give me a high level of anxiety, and I would just pray to God that the bell would ring, and I would just have another day to study the material, right? So I
Yeah,
get it, Brandy. I get it. I think we've all been through that to a certain extent, but I think some people deal with it much longer, or some people deal with it longer in life, and as they get older, they're still dealing with it. Where some people will work through it by a certain age, and that's what happened to me, and that's why I do what I do now because I've dealt with all these things and I've worked through them, and I want to share with people, and my lady wants to share with people how we've worked through these things, so you folks can, you know, change your lives for the better. But thank you for sharing that. Tam says, baby, I have bad social anxiety. I don't really leave my house due to that. Baby, you want to take that? What is your advice to Tam there?
um Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, I don't know what your living situation is out there. Tam in Australia? Is that correct?
Yes.
Um, I would just my advice, if you have any ability, any land or any property, like um just sitting outside on your porch and just getting outside like that and getting some sun and doing that is probably the best thing to start the process of getting out of the house. If you can find a hobby, um, something you like to do, that would take you to a local store that you would have to go shopping at and bring back to the house. That gets you out and about. So those are my only suggestions to try to overcome that. But my big thing is I love sitting outside in the morning, just soaking up the sun, drinking my coffee, and just relaxing.
Yeah, Nightbot just timed out Brandy C. I don't know. I don't know why. I've got Nightbot programmed perfectly. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't know why Nightbot's timing you out. Just bear with it, and I will look into Nightbot later tonight or tomorrow morning for the next show. But it's not me, and you're not saying anything wrong. I think Nightbot's having a brain fart tonight. Um, Brandy C says, the girls in my book club don't like me. I basically don't leave the house. Hmm. Wow.
Um, well, maybe you need to find a different book club or something else. I don't know what you have out there. Out in my area, I mean, they used to do this prior to COVID and they're just starting it up again. But we've done paint nights at local places. I would just look into like the community boards of your place that you live and just get into another group of people.
Yeah. Meetup.com is a great place. When I used to run in person networking events, babe, for business networking, I used to promote stuff on meetup.com, Facebook, and other places. But meetup.com, you can find a meetup for just about anything and everything. And it doesn't matter if you're disabled. It doesn't matter if you have anxiety. It doesn't matter if you even have like social anxiety, fear being around people. People are really nice in these meetup groups. And I would definitely look into meetup.com and find a group in your area um, with an activity that you enjoy doing. And I promise you, you will find people that will respect you and appreciate you. Meetup groups are some of the best groups I've been a part of. And I've never, ever, ever dealt with any mean people at these meetup groups. So I would definitely give that a shot. But you wanna join a meetup group regarding something that you truly love and you're passionate about, because that's something you could talk about endlessly with other people in that group that enjoy the same thing, right? So do something like that. What are your thoughts about that, babe?
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
completely agree. Totally agree with
yeah.
that.
You ever heard of meetup.com,
It
baby?
I've never heard of that.
Hmm.
No.
Oh, it's great, great, great website, and they've had an app forever now too. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Brandy C, I use delivery services for everything as well. Um, unless, I've got to go get gas in my car or I've got like, I'm out and about and I just run to the grocery store quick to get something I'm craving. But yeah, no, I literally have all of my essentials delivered just the same way you do, babe, like, through Costco. All the toilet paper, all the soaps, all of that, paper towels, paper plates. Like, I don't go out shopping for that stuff. And if I need food, I will just order it and have it delivered. And it's not because I don't want to go out. It's honestly just because I'm lazy. And I'll be honest,
Well,
I'm just lazy.
well, that's another thing I help people with here, baby, including you. I help people overcome their laziness to get off their ass and do something with yourself, right? That's half the battle, right?
Yeah, but when the sun goes down and I'm like, I'm hungry, but I don't want to go out and drive right now. So let me get on my DoorDash.
Hmm.
And you can't judge me because we DoorDash at least 2 times a weekend when we're together.
Hmm.
I'm not door dashing tonight though.
You're not?
Nope.
Oh, when the
What?
sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof under the boardwalk.
Down by the sea.
Down by the sea. Oh, I can't do it, baby.
On a
On a
blanket with
blanket
my
with my
baby.
baby is where I'll be.
Yep.
You know what, baby? We should hit the beach this weekend. I don't know. We're
We'll
gonna
check
go
the
do something.
weather.
Yeah, we're gonna do something fun, you and I. We're gonna go away at least for a night somewhere out of town and just get away from it all. But anyway, all right. Let's continue here. Brandy C says, I appreciate your honesty. This is refreshing. Well, thank you for that, Brandy C. And Jenny says they charge a lot of money for those meetup. No, a lot of meetup groups are free actually. You can join meetup.com for free. The only people that pay on Meetup are the organizers to promote their events. But there are some meetups that do charge money, but there are a lot of meetups that are free of charge. So look for the ones that are free, Jenny. I know there are some people that are tight on money. There are freebies on meetup.com. You can filter through them. Get the app on your phone and start searching today. It's free. All right. Let's see. They're reluctant to develop. Did I read that entire section there?
Hold on, which one?
I think I was going to read this last part. They're reluctant to develop a close romantic relationship. I already read that. I did. Let me read the bottom part again. Fearful avoidant attachment is also known as disorganized attachment. It is relatively rare and not well researched, but we do know it is associated with significant psychological and relational risks, including heightened sexual behavior, an increased risk for violence in their relationships, and difficulty regulating emotions in general. I got nothing more to add to that. It speaks for itself. Anything you want to add to that, baby, or should we just move forward? Because we need to wrap this up soon.
Well, all I can say is I relate because I know somebody like this.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
Uh, can you guess who this person might have been?
The person that has the issues sexually?
Nope.
Okay, what are you talking about? Be specific. What is the issue with this person?
Okay. I'm talking about including heightened sexual behavior and increased risk for violence in their relationship and
Oh,
difficulty regulating
yeah.
emotions in general.
Your ex-boyfriend that where the DV occurred, the domestic violence occurred. That dude, you don't have to mention his
Yes.
name, but that dude right there. Okay, now I get it. Yes, yes. That guy must have had testosterone overload or something like that. But anyway, let's
I don't
thanks for
know
sharing
how
that.
he only had one testicle.
Well, sometimes one is enough, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, baby, and
TMI,
I
huh?
have both. I have both of mine, so I don't know what it's like to only have one testy. Uh, anyway, how attachment styles are formed. Attachment styles are typically developed in infancy based on our relationships with our earliest caregivers, typically our mom and dad, right, baby? Researchers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Researchers believe attachment style is formed within our first year of living between 7 to 11 months of age, according to mental health counselor Grace Sun, LMHC, LPC. According to Menkow, it is determined by how the primary caregiver responds to the child's cues, social cues, which is what it is, when they are experiencing emotional stress. So basically, what they're saying here before we continue, baby, and you tell me what you think. When you're young and growing up and you're experiencing emotional stress, how your mom and dad help you identify it and learn to better understand it, it's going to make a difference in how you turn out, right? Does that make sense to you, or do you have anything else you want to add to it?
Absolutely, but the whole thing between 7 to 11 months of age is really critical there, you know. Um, and I know I can only speak for myself, but I was not away from my babies during those months. Um, I was there. I was their primary caregiver. I rocked them. I nursed them. I loved them.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Let's see. Jenny says they charge a lot of money for those, and she meant I only have use of one eye, so sorry I was not clear in my typing. Sorry to hear about that, Jenny. No problem, no worries. I meant the delivery apps are too expensive. They charge too much money. Oh, you're right about that. I mean, I only use
Oh,
them.
absolutely.
Yeah, my lady and I only use them when we've had an absolutely long week. We're exhausted and we don't feel like going out or anything. Typically, when my lady comes over, like on a Friday night, and she lives a little over an hour away from me, typically that's when we usually will order a DoorDash or something like that. But usually we don't. The only time we use DoorDash is when we are so exhausted that it would be too risky to drive to go out and eat or do something, right? And that's that. But you're right; it's very very expensive, and you want to tip the driver at least 20%. Now they're suggesting 30% tips because of inflation, and it's literally dinner for two. If you order something decent, you could be spending $80 to $100 on DoorDash. Anyway, let's continue here. Good point there. Great point there, Jenny. Um, let's scroll up here. Human beings are born helpless, so we are hardwired at birth to search for and attach to a reliable caregiver for protection. That's mom and dad, right? Okay. Now, little boys typically will look up to their mother uh, and basically become attracted to women that are like their mother when they get of age to date. And little girls will look up to their father as their role model of the type of man they're going to be seeking. But when it comes to being born helpless and coming into this crazy world with lots of emotional highs and lows, yeah, your parents both need to be there to help you work through those situations and to explain them to you. and that way you'll know how to handle things better, and you're going to feel like somebody really cares about you having a chance in this world. Does that make sense, baby, before we continue?
Yeah, it makes total sense. I think with the progression, with the world, uh, back in the day, there wasn't as much notice to mental health and what's going on. And I think that has plagued a lot on our parents like these days, because when a parent has a breakdown due to the stress of life or whatever, um it's not looking back to see how they were raised or whatever. It's just they broke down and they failed their child, and now that's gonna carry on, and that's really unfair. It's really, really unfair because, like, in today's time, we are recognizing mental health more and we're trying to battle it. And it's been a stigma for so long. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
No, you can get emotional all you want, baby. No problem. No problem. No problem. No
I
problem at
just, I
all.
remember, I just remember after having my daughter, my mother like coming up to me weeks afterwards and going, "You are going to be the best mother in the world. You're so attentive and kind and loving." And now, now to hear what my mother says, hoof, who let the dogs out?
Well, that's a story for another time. And you need to talk more about that because we've started talking about it, and that's you're not the problem, baby. You're not. If I thought you were, I would tell you as an outsider. I would tell you, but it's not you, and you've been blaming yourself all this time, which is not good. But we can talk more about that another time. I think there's a reason for
Oh,
that.
absolutely. But that
Yeah.
that does touch on it because, at birth, like, I was raising them to be kind and loving and all of this. And I don't know what the hell happened once the divorce happened.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I can only control how I come off, how I act, how I am. Um, Also,
Same.
people can change as they get older. People start to get chronic mental and emotional and psychological issues, and we don't know what's going on unless someone gets diagnosed. And if they're not willing to get diagnosed, then we're never going to know, right?
Yes.
It is what it is, baby. Anyway, let's continue here. We're almost done. Peter Lovenheim. What a great last name. Peter Lovenheim.
Lebanon.
Lovenheim, author of The Attachment Effect, writes at MBG. The quality of that first bond, loving and stable or inconsistent or even absent, actually shapes the developing brain, influencing us throughout life and how we deal with loss and how we behave in relationships. Yeah, baby, I have nothing more to add to that. That just speaks for itself. Anything else? Because we just have these quick primers to go through here of the four attachment
Yeah, no,
types, and then
let's get that. Yeah, let's get through the primers.
yeah, and then we're done. Okay, here is folks. Get your questions, comments, or concerns in the chat right now. We're going to be going off the air in about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll go through the chat one final time before we go off the air. Here's a quick primer on what circumstances lead to each of the 4 attachment types. Secure attachment. Caregivers are responsive and attuned to their child's needs, says Monaco. That's great. It's the way it should be, babe. Nothing more to add to that, right? Secure attachment, that's where everyone should be. And then we have no issues practically, right? Right?
Nope.
Okay. Anxious attachment. Caregivers are inconsistent, unpredictable with affections, sometimes overly involved and intermittently withdrawn, says Sa. It is the unpredictable fluctuation between caregivers being emotionally available and then distant that leads children to be anxious about all their future relationships, Mankau adds. Yeah, and that's go ahead, baby, because that's your
These are
area.
these are the deadbeat dads that like just come in whenever they want, or the moms that are on drugs that are, just not there. They disappear, and so these kids are with their grandparents or with their aunties or something like that. And it is overwhelming. They feel abandoned. They don't like they do feel emotionally unavailable at times because they don't know where their place is in the world.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that, baby, or shall we go on?
Let's go.
All right. Avoidant attachment. Caregivers are not responsive, and they are often dismissive and distant, Sa explains. They're consistently emotionally disconnected from their child, resulting in the child believing that their needs won't get met, Mankau says. Yeah, that's avoidant is not good. How can you function being an
I
avoidant?
Yeah, I believe that this comes from the parents' past trauma also, and not getting enough strokes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because if they're not willing to like sit there and love on their child and let their child know, you know, that they have an emotional connection to them, that must mean that they never got an emotional connection. They were not taught that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, baby? That was well said. Well said.
No, let's
And
go on to fearful
I
avoidance.
I think that is something that you were talking about a little bit earlier about someone. Um, we'll talk more off the air, and maybe we'll do a separate show on this because it's important. It is important, but we'll leave that
Yeah,
one alone
yeah.
for right now. Let's see here. Let's scroll. We did avoidant attachment, and last but not least, fearful avoidant
Fearful.
attachment. The type of an environment that influences a disorganized attachment involves a caregiver who is frightening or traumatizing, leading to the child to experience a deep sense of fear and a lack of trust in others despite wanting close connections, Mankau says. They may be neglectful or even abusive, adds, such that the child develops a poor understanding of boundaries and is confused about what a healthy relationship looks like. It is, your parents are so important in the way you turn out and understanding the difference between a healthy and unhealthy relationship. Go ahead, baby. I'm going to turn this one over to you because I've been trying to teach this for years. And people
Oh
don't
my
get it.
gosh.
It's hard. It's hard for people to understand this, but go ahead.
It's so important when you're raising children, um to you have to set up, like, what do I want to say? Um it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, you want to set a good example for your
That's right.
children. You don't
Amen. Lead,
ever
lead,
want
lead, lead,
them.
lead by example, right, baby?
Yes, yes. And so you don't ever want to show your children a abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive relationship, because that is what will be lead to the confusion about what a healthy relationship looks like.
Right.
Um, and a lot of times, these children, if they're in a house with domestic violence, a lot of times these kids are like hiding and watching this happen. And it traumatizes them so bad that
Oh,
they
yeah.
will never be able to have a healthy relationship.
Right. And then they may have the same fears as some people had in our chat tonight. They won't want to leave the house because of that, right?
Exactly.
Social anxiety and all that type of stuff arises from what you were just talking about, right,
You
baby?
just don't trust, you just don't start trusting people.
Right.
It
Right.
leads into a whole nother chapter of mental stuff
Illness,
from
illness, and
trauma.
and even depression can come out of this too. I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Shall we continue? Last part here, baby. Last
Yes.
part. Folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We'll be going off the air in just a few minutes. The last part here, we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Wow. This took longer than I thought it would, but I've enjoyed this show,
Always
baby.
does.
I think you have enjoyed it too, though. We've had some great people
Yes.
here. Caregivers are not only ones who shape your attachment style. However, this is one of many things people get wrong about attachment styles. People's attachment styles may also be influenced by other significant relationships throughout their lives. A person can have a secure attachment during childhood. However, betrayals and infidelity in adulthood can lead to an insecure attachment, says Mencal. I could not agree and I could not agree more than that. I mean, I agree completely is what I'm trying to say. Everybody, no matter how secure you are, is going to go through moments of insecurity. And I think when that happens to someone that's typically a person with a secure attachment style, you have to just take some time away from the situation. Maybe step away from, you know, overly socializing for a couple of weeks or a month or so. Spend some time with yourself, recover, and then get back out there and put yourself back out on that horse. Even for people like me, I've always been a very social person. I love going out. I love talking with people. I love being around people. There have been times in between relationships when I go through a breakup where I just feel just I feel like I put in all this effort and the relationship failed and I'm just out of gas temporarily, right? So what I do in those situations, I will just take a month or so and minimize going out or hanging out with friends and maybe just go take my daily walk. And I would take my daily walk and then come home, eat some dinner, and then just, watch some shows on TV and get to bed early. And I think sometimes people need to step away and spend time with themselves and just recover, right? Now, I know that's something that doesn't work for you, baby, but that's something that typically works for me. What are your thoughts about what I just said here? Even people with secure attachment styles can go through periods of times where they're not secure because of what's happened.
Yes. Yes. I agree with you.
Anything
Absolutely.
anything else you want to add to that, or do you just agree with it?
Well,
And
no, I agree with you. It's just, it's like you can that's something you can do, and that's something I don't understand, because literally my brain never shuts off, and
yeah,
I'm always like a tornado like going on over here. So I
you're
wish,
you're that you're that
like
you're
I
that way
I'm
when you
just
come here
jealous.
too. you're that way when you're around
Yeah.
me too, baby. So, oh boy.
Yeah, I'm just jealous about the fact that you can just like shut down like that. And, it's just jealousy. I wish I could just shut it down like that too.
Well, I think you're going to be able to. I think the more and more you get into it with your therapist and you talk about this anxious attachment style, um, I think that you're going to be able to work through it to the point of where you can take a night off by yourself and just enjoy it and not have to worry about anything. You turn off the rest of the world and you just relax and recoup. Like, baby, here's the thing. I love talking with you every night. I love working with you. I love being around you. But those nights we're not together after we do a show like tonight and then talk on the phone, then I take an hour and I just watch my show and I turn off the rest of the world and I just watch a show or something and I'm just relaxing and I am at peace and content. And that's where I want to help everyone get to, including yourself, and you're going to get there. But anything else, baby? I'm back to full screen. We need to start wrapping this up. We are at 2 hours and 25 minutes.
No, that was perfect, babe. I just want to get there too. I just want to mention my beautiful dog is on his bed right now looking completely content and peaceful. And I
Good.
wish I could get to that level.
You will.
But yeah, it's gorgeous, you know.
Yeah.
And y'all can say
Now,
whatever the hell you want to say about me and my dogs. I love my dogs.
baby, you don't need to talk about people that we no longer associate with. It's been months, and you don't have to worry about a small group of people on YouTube that took some things that were said privately behind the scenes way out of context. We don't need to worry about that. But anyway, it's a funny joke, and I'm glad that you can joke about it now, right, baby?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. All right, babe. I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage. Unless you have anything else to say, baby, we need to wrap this up, and I'll be calling you in about 15 or 20 minutes or less. All righty?
I just want to thank everybody for being here, all their comments, and for the what is that called? The $2
Super chat?
super chat.
Super chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. And I look forward to doing another show tomorrow night.
Oh, wow. I've got a show with my lady tomorrow night as well. Great. All right, baby. Backstage you go. I'll be calling you in a bit. Love you, baby. Talk with you in a bit.
Love you. Bye.
Me too. Bye. All right, folks. That was my wonderful lady, and that's going to wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank all of you that were here live. If you watch this on the replay, thank you for watching. Just so you folks know, on the replay, there is something called Super Thanks. So if you aren't able to make a live stream and you want to make a donation to support the channel, you can do it through the Google and YouTube system. Just look for the heart that says thanks on the replay on mobile or on your laptop or desktop, and you can make there's 4 options there of donations, and you can have a highlighted message in the comments section as well. Or you can, donate to Cash App or through Cash App or PayPal. Sandra Palacio, great show, you two. Well, thank you, Sandra. Thank you for being here. And we got to talk some more behind the scenes soon. Maybe we'll bring you back as a moderator and start working much closer with you. I think you've been on the good side of things, and I've never had a problem with you. So thank you again for being here as well. Thank you to everyone else, Jenny. Thank you to Tam, and your husband was here earlier tonight. That was what was his name? Mr. Recliner Man. Thank you again for the $2 Australian super chat, Tam. And anyone else that I missed, thank you to everyone. Folks, I'll be back tomorrow for at least 2 shows. A Walking with Purpose stream here on Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams, and tomorrow night, as my lady said, I guess we've got another show coming, so stick around for that. Have yourselves a great one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.